All right, Ripple XRP holders, yes, it is official. We have some breaking crypto news to bring to you in this video, and also we have to talk about the approved bridge currency with Bank for International Settlements and their CBDC technology and what that means for XRP in the rest of the crypto market. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, comment 777 if you're feeling bullish. If you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, you already know what to do. Confirm it in the comments below. Pause this video right now. Make sure you like it, subscribe it. With that being said, let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So it's official. Ripple has partnered with the Central Bank of Montenegro to develop a strategy and pilot program for launching the country's first central banking digital currency or national stablecoin. And we have some other big news about CBDCs to bring to you in this video. And this is a big deal because the move aligns with the central bank's goal of digitizing financial services and increasing their financial accessibility for Montenegro's citizens. And Montenegro's prime minister confirmed the collaboration with Ripple earlier this year after meeting with the CEO Brad Garlinghouse. And James Wells, who is Ripple's vice president of central bank engagements and CBDCs, stated that the partnership is part of Ripple's effort to bring global payments into the digital era. And Ripple's track record of successfully connecting payment systems for different financial institutions across the world is growing rapidly. And according to attorney Jeremy Hogan, who's been covering the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit consistently, believes that the XRP ledger could interact with Ripple's CBDC program, and the CBDC could be issued on top of the XRP ledger as an IOU represented by a specific token, or the CBDC's central bank could open a gateway on the XRP ledger that allows users to deposit and withdraw the CBDC. So a lot of people think that that's obvious, but here's one interesting point that I want you to know in this video as we dive a little bit deeper, because the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority has partnered with Ripple as well too to help banks in Saudi Arabia improve their payments and their infrastructure. And the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority is the first central bank to launch a pilot program using Ripple's X-Current software solution, which will enable participating Saudi Arabian banks to instantly settle payments sent into and out of the country. According to Ripple, this will change everything for payments over in Saudi Arabia. And SAMA is the second central bank to use blockchain technology to revolutionize payments, following the Bank of England's successful proof of concept with Ripple back all the way in 2017. And SAMA's agreement with Ripple is the first step in the process of enabling instant payments using blockchain solutions for domestic banks in Saudi Arabia. And this is important for you because the head of the International Monetary Fund, which is an international organization that works to promote global economic cooperation, financial stability, they were established back in 1944 in the aftermath of World War II, and currently has 190 member countries, foreseeing the end of banking and the triumph of digital currencies and fintech. And the IMF also provides loans to countries facing payments difficulties. So do you think that with their statement about crypto that they would start issuing loans with, Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies in the future? Or will they only do that with central banking digital currencies? Because in a speech at the Bank of England's conference, the managing director of the International Monetary Fund had some choice words to say about crypto. And this is interesting because she hasn't been so positive about crypto in the past. Listen to this.
There are cryptos,
and euro crypto,
for which I'd say forget it, unless you're prepared to lose it all. How many of you have invested in cryptos?
No one.
Good. I'm pleased for that, because at least you have not taken stupid risks. In life, you have to take risks, but they shouldn't be too stupid. This one is, in my humble view, a dangerously irrational one. So there is that. And then there is the digital euro, which is something that we at the European Central Bank are working on, because everything goes digital. And we have to be attentive to that. And we have to make sure that if you or your children want to only operate with digital euros, they have it.
To act as an anchor of safety. If the day when we have the central bank digital currency out, any digital euro, I will guarantee. So the central bank will be behind it.
I'm not impressed by cryptos. As I said, I see them as liabilities more than assets. I respect that people want to produce speculative instruments If they're prepared to lose it all, that's fine. I'm very concerned that it's seducing young people who don't really understand what they're getting into. And one of the reasons I have pushed our project of the digital euro has to do with the fact that our societies are becoming more and more digital, and we cannot just operate with central bank money comprised of banknotes, coins, and I'm convinced that we must be able to produce a digital central bank currency. That's what we should be able to produce, as well as having a payment infrastructure that is conducive to fast, cheaper, more efficient payments cross-border.
Also, she just recently talked about the United States defaulting on their debt, as we've been covering in previous videos. Listen to this.
I have huge confidence in the United States. You know, ever since my year in this country, in this city, in 73, 74, I have had confidence in this country. And I just cannot believe that they would let such a major disaster happen of the United States defaulting on its debt. This is not possible. I cannot believe that it would happen.
So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that the US will default, or do you think that Congress will raise the debt ceiling in time so there isn't a mass panic attack and everyone pulling their money out of the markets in June? And she also discussed in her speech at the Bank of England conference how fintech is likely to change the banking industry forever. She noted that virtual currencies could become more stable and are able to be issued for existing currencies or stable basket of currencies. And this could make it easier and safer than obtaining physical bills, especially in remote areas. So you see people in positions of power, they have these massive egos, you know, like a lot of scientists sometimes that say, you know, the earth is this old, and then they uncover some rocks and they dig up some ancient skeleton bones, you know, from some older species, and they're like, oh, yep, sorry guys, we were wrong. Now the earth is this old, and this is where we come from. This has happened over decades in multiple industries. Banking is not a new industry that they're starting to realize that they were wrong, and there's different monetary policies that are going to be more effective moving forward. And while being open to fresh ideas and new demands as economies evolve, she also discussed new models of financial intermediation and artificial intelligence. And based on what I'm about to share with you for the Bank of International Settlements, this changes everything, because based on her statements, it's very clear that the IMF and the Bank for International Settlements is working behind the scenes to usher in their CBDC program. And tons of people are saying this will wipe out 99% of altcoins. But is that actually true? Which altcoins are going to survive? And the ones that aren't compliant with the new rules that come out for their ISO 20022 compliance, and XRP currently being compliant. However, the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit will push some new rules into the market, and their CBDC will be able to track and monitor every payment you make and what you spend your money on with the Bank for International Settlements, connecting the dots for all these CBDCs together. Now, this affects XRP because the Bank for International Settlements has been working on approving what they call Project Polaris, which is their offline payment system for CBDCs in case of things like EMP attacks, electric grid failures, and other natural disasters when the internet goes down. So CBDCs could be used like cash when the internet isn't working. Listen to this.
In our fast-moving, hyper-connected world, the way we use money to make payments and do business is changing. Many countries are increasingly relying on digital online payment systems instead of cash. But our growing dependency on these online systems can affect our ability to pay when they become unavailable due to system outages, cyber attacks, or even natural disasters. Being able to make payments when offline could provide a solution. An offline payment is a payment between two parties which are not connected to a ledger system. The ability to make offline payments when systems are unavailable could improve the resilience of payment systems and provide backup during a crisis. Offline payments could also enable financial inclusion wherever internet and telecommunications connections are unreliable or non-existent. And some solutions could provide digital payment alternatives for those who can't use mainstream options. Offline payment solutions could extend some of the features of using cash into the digital space, giving people more choice. Project Polaris from the BIS Innovation Hub Nordic Centre investigates the design of secure and resilient online and offline central bank digital currencies, starting with a focus on offline payments using CBDCs.
Now, a survey conducted by the Bank for International Settlements Nordic Center shows almost 50% of central banks consider offline payments with retail CBDCs to be vital for payments, because since we're in World War III right now, we go through a currency war, trade war, then a kinetic war. Well, if there's EMP attacks and space warfare that knocks out satellites, how is the entire payment system, let alone the internet, going to function if CBDCs rely on a Wi-Fi connection? And in the Project Polaris handbook for offline payments with CBDCs, there's contributions from people who work at Ripple. And you can see here with Anthony Ralphs, who is the Director of Product Management CBDC at Ripple, and also Anthony Welfare, who is the Senior Advisor of CBDCs and Global Partnerships at Ripple. So this is massive bullish news. So comment 777 below if you're feeling bullish right now. And also other bullish news, Ripple is expanding its presence in Dubai with a new office location in the Dubai International Financial Center. And if you watched my video yesterday or the past couple days, depending on when it came out, I talked about Coinbase and Ripple talking about moving to Dubai and establishing headquarters over there. So take a second right now, tap the subscribe button, tap the like button, do it for grandma, because we're going to beat Shooter McGavin, we're going to beat the Fed, and we're going to buy grandma's house back. And I have some even bigger news dropping in the next couple days for you that you're not going to want to miss. So when you subscribe right now and you hit the bell notification, that's going to tell YouTube that you want to see more videos like this. It means the world to me when you support our channel, and we want to support you guys. And that's why we do massive giveaways as well too every single week. We're giving away over $100,000 this year. If you guys want to check that out, go to bullrunners.com, link in the description below. Now, Ripple is also bringing its annual customer conference, Swell Global 2023, to Dubai on November 8th through 9th later this year. And this is important for you because Ripple has a strong focus on serving customers worldwide, with over 90% of its business outside the US, since the US is dragging its tail in the mud right now and this lawsuit keeps getting extended. In the Middle East and North Africa, in that region, it's a key market for the company, with around 20% of all RippleNet customers based over there. In 2020, Ripple chose DIFC as the location for its MENA headquarters due to Dubai's innovation-forward regulations and reputation as a leading global financial center. Now, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse cited Dubai's forward-thinking regulatory environment as the reason for the company's decision to expand in the city and bring Swell Global to the region. Now, Ripple's first ever on-demand liquidity deployment in the Middle East was launched in late 2021 with PYYPL, the international blockchain-based financial services technology company in the Middle East. Ripple is helping by leveraging crypto to tackle the trillion-dollar challenges associated with cross-border payments. Swell Global will follow previous successful events held in London and Singapore, bringing together Ripple's customers and partners from around the world. And Brad Garlinghouse will also appear as a keynote speaker at Dubai FinTech Summit this year, and we will be covering that on our channel. So with that being said, we are preparing now as the Fed makes their pivot to FedNow in July, and as they start ushering in their CBDC program, working with the Bank for International Settlements and distributed ledger technology being used. So will we see XRP become that bridge currency, or will we see Ripple as the company make major announcements that they are the ones behind the scenes for all of these global CBDCs? Only time will tell. We have to wait for the lawsuits to come to a closure. And while we get ready right now, the writing is on the wall, and we are all developing a tactically superior plan to help millions of people preserve their wealth and even grow their income during the greatest economic crisis in history that is coming. When you watch the previous videos on the channel and you watch future videos on our channel, I'm going to be breaking down some critical charts for you that reveal everything. What do you need to do? Because if the Fed isn't going to live within their means, if they're not going to default, if they're going to tax the rich more, if you want to become rich and you commented 777 because you're becoming the first millionaire and they plan on taxing you more, what do you do to legally minimize your taxes, make more money, and prepare yourself when the dollar collapses so you can have more XRP, so you can have more Bitcoin, have more Ethereum, have more Shiba Inu, have more Solana, more Cardano, whatever you want, and have more productive assets? Well, number one, you need to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video all over social media so we can help more people understand what's going on so they can prepare. Because here's what I'm personally doing to prepare. And again, take this or leave it. This is not financial advice. Consult your financial advisor if they are a multimillionaire. This is what I've done and what I'm going to continue to do that helped me become a millionaire before 30. Number one, you got to think of money like manure, right? If you pile it up in one place, it stinks and it rots. But if you spread it around, everything grows. I'm investing into assets that will either produce passive income or hold value in times of inflation or hyperinflation. And that's where crypto, that's where gold, that's where silver, that's where international real estate comes into play as other countries expand and more people want to move overseas, let alone hire employees overseas. But in order for you to do that, you can't just rely on the income from your job to invest, because the rise of artificial intelligence is replacing workers in industries like healthcare, finance, manufacturing, transportation, retail, education. The list goes on and on and on. You are increasing your risk every single day of being laid off. The days that go by where you don't focus on building a business on the side. So that's what I'm also doing. I'm building a side business. Now, the number one side hustle for you to focus on in 2023, in my opinion, that costs little to no money out of pocket, that's completely recession proof, it's completely depression proof, is an information-based business in any niche that you want, because people are more hungry for information than ever before. Remember, information changes situations. When you have different information, it changes the outcome and the output of your life. You know, education is the biggest problem in the world today. The complete overhaul of the education system and the student loan bubble that's about to burst is next. However, you know, most people that are going through formal education, they need to know that formal education will make you a living, but self-education can make you a fortune. And unfortunately, a formal education is not making people a living, because they're having to focus on surviving rather than thriving due to minimum wage staying the same over the past few years and artificial intelligence taking